and welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and we're kicking off a new year of Friday Reads videos. And this week, we are featuring Read the Book Before Seeing the Movie or the Streamed Series. So I'll turn it over to Jill for her first pick.
So my first pick, this is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. This is a popular YA book that is described as The Breakfast Club, but as a murder mystery. It's about 5 teens who are sent to detention, but one of them doesn't make it out alive. Now the survivors have to figure out who among them must be the killer. There are more books in the series. The second one is called One of Us is Next. So, if you enjoy this, there's more to read. The book has been made into a series on Peacock, and there are currently 2 seasons streaming right now for this one. So, One of Us is Lying.
My first pick is a popular book. I think I have featured this previous Friday Reads. I read this book, gave it 5 stars, and this is Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale, which was written back in 2015, and it is a film that's currently under development. We didn't find a release date for this one yet, but the Fanning sisters, Dakota and Elle, are set to star in this movie together. So, France, 1939, in the quiet village of Caribou, Vianne Mauriac says goodbye to her husband Antoine as he heads for the front. She doesn't believe that the Nazis will invade France, but invade they do, in droves of marching soldiers, in caravans of trucks and tanks, in planes that fill the skies and drop bombs upon the innocent. When a German captain requisitions Vianne's home, she and her daughter must live with the enemy or lose everything. Without food or money or hope, as danger escalates all around them, she's forced to make one impossible choice after another to keep her family alive. Her sister, Isabel, is a rebellious 18-year-old searching for purpose with all the reckless passion of youth. While thousands of Parisians march into the unknown terrors of war, she meets Gaëtan, a partisan who believes the French can fight the Nazis from within France, and she falls in love as only the young can. Completely. But when he betrays her, Isabel joins the resistance and never looks back, risking her life time and again to save others. So, Kristen Hanna is a popular author. I know there's been a lot of buzz about the Fanning sisters who are set to star in the movie, so check out the book if you haven't read it.
My next one is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. This is a sharply intelligent novel about 2 college students and the strange, unexpected connection they forge with a married couple. Frances is 21 years old, cool-headed and darkly observant, a college student and inspiring writer. She devotes herself to the life of mind and the beautiful and endlessly self-possessed Bobby, her best friend and comrade in arms. Lovers at school, the 2 young women now perform spoken word poetry together in Dublin, where a journalist named Melissa spots their potential. Drawn into Melissa's orbit, Frances is reluctantly impressed by the older woman's sophisticated home and tall, handsome husband. Private property, Frances believes, is a cultural evil, and Nick, a bored actor never quite lived up to his potential, looks like patriarchy made flesh. But however amusing their flirtation seems at first, it gives way to a strange intimacy neither of them expect. As Frances tries to keep her life in check, her relationships increasingly resist her control with Nick and her difficulty and unhappy father, and finally even with Bobby. Desperate to reconcile herself to the desires and vulnerabilities of her body, Frances's intellectual certainties begin to yield something new and painful and disorienting way of living from moment to moment. This was first published in 2017. This is her debut novel, and it did very well, and it was turned into a 12-episode series that was aired on Hulu in 2022, so you should still be able to find it. So, Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney.
My second pick is The Other Misses by Mary Kubica, and this was published in 2020, and as you can see from the cover of the book, coming to Netflix, Netflix has acquired the rights to this novel. So Sadie and Will Faust have only just moved their family from bustling Chicago to small-town Maine when their neighbor, Morgan Baines, is found dead in her home. The murder rocks their tiny coastal town, but no one is more shaken than Sadie, who is terrified by the thought of a killer in her very own backyard. But it's not just Morgan's death that has Sadie on edge. It's their eerie old home with its decrepit decor and its creepy attic, which they inherited from Will's sister after she died unexpectedly. It's Will's disturbed teenage niece, Imogen, with her dark and threatening presence. And it's the troubling past that continues to wear at the seams of their family. So she's got a lot of things worrying her. At the eyes of suspicion turned toward the new family in town, Sadie is drawn deeper into the mystery of Morgan's death. But Sadie must be careful, for the more she discovers about Mrs. Baines, the more she begins to realize just how much she has to lose if the truth ever comes to light. So, sounds like a good mystery. If you like a good mystery thriller, the other Mrs.
Mary Kubica, she's pretty good with those things,
Yeah.
too. My next one is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This was a Goodreads Choice Award nominated for Best Historical Fiction in 2017. In the early 1900s, teenage Sunja, the adored daughter of a crippled fisherman, falls for a wealthy stranger at the seashore near her home in Korea. He promises her the world, but when she discovers she is pregnant and that her lover is married, she refuses to be bought. Instead, she accepts an offer of marriage from a gentle, sickly minister passing through on his way to Japan. But her decision to abandon her home and reject her son's powerful father sets off a dramatic saga that will echo down through generations. So this book was published in 2017. It was made into a series about a sweeping saga that chronicles the hopes and dreams of this Korean immigrant family across 4 generations as they leave their homeland in an indomitable quest to survive and thrive. It's on Apple TV Plus. And the first episode aired in March of 2022, so you should still be able to find this one there, too. So, Pachinko.
My next pick is Killers of the Flower Moon, The Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI by David Grann. This was published back in 2017. The copy I'm holding is actually a version that was adapted for younger readers. And Martin Scorsese is going to direct this film, which will star Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, and Lily Gladstone. And when I checked, it looked like estimated release date was May of 2023, this year. So this is a nonfiction pick, if you're into nonfiction. In the 1920s, the richest people per capita in the world were members of the Osage Indian Nation in Oklahoma. After oil was discovered beneath their land, they rode in chauffeured automobiles, built mansions, and sent their children to study in Europe. Then one by one, they began to be killed off. One woman, Molly Burkhart, watched as her family was murdered. Her older sister was shot. Her mother was then slowly poisoned, and it was just the beginning, as more and more began to die under mysterious circumstances. In this last remnant of the Wild West, where oilmen like J.P. Getty made their fortunes and where desperados such as Al Spencer, known as the Phantom Terror, roamed, virtually anyone who dared to investigate the killings was themselves murdered. As the death toll surpassed more than 24 Osage, the newly created FBI took up the case in what became one of the organization's first major homicide investigations. So it's a true-life murder mystery about one of the most monstrous crimes in American history. So if this sounds intriguing, check out the nonfiction book and then hopefully see the movie when it comes out in May.
I'm excited about that one because that book's been pretty popular. I have another thriller for you. The Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. Her perfect life is a perfect lie. As a teenager at the prestigious Bradley School, Annie Fanelli endured a shocking public humiliation that left her desperate to reinvent herself. Now with a glamorous job, expensive wardrobe, and a handsome blue blood fiancé, she's as close to living the perfect life she's worked so hard to achieve. But Annie has a secret. There's something else buried in her past that still haunts her, something private and painful that threatens to bubble to the surface and destroy everything. With a singular voice that twists you that you don't see what's coming, Luckiest Girl Alive explores the unbearable pleasure so many women feel to have it all and introduces a heroine whose sharp edges and cutthroat ambition have been protecting a scandalous truth and a heart that's bigger than it first appears. That was first published in 2015. It was made into a movie on Netflix in 2022, and it stars Mila Kunis from that 70s show, if you know her. So, Luckiest Girl Alive.
My fourth pick is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McKeeston, published in 2019. First son Alex Claremont Diaz is the closest thing to a prince this side of the Atlantic. With his intrepid sister and the Veep's genius granddaughter, they're the White House Trio, a beautiful millennial marketing strategy for his mother, President Ellen Claremont. International socialite duties do have downsides, namely when photos of a confrontation with his longtime nemesis, Prince Henry, at a royal wedding leak to the tabloids and threaten American-British relations. The plan for damage control, staging a fake friendship between the first son and the prince. As President Claremont kicks off her re-election bid, Alex finds himself hurtling into a secret relationship with Henry that could derail the campaign and upend 2 nations. What is worth the sacrifice? How do you do all the good you can do? And most importantly, how will history remember you? While it's still unclear how exactly this book will be adapted for the screen, it will definitely include some moments for fans of the book, and Uma Thurman has signed on to star as the president of this film when it comes out. So, red, white, and royal blue.
Super fun. So I'm really excited about this next one. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is my favorite book by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's so good. In 1977, Daisy Jones and the Six were on top of the world. The band had risen from obscurity to fame, and then after a sold-out show in Chicago's Soldier Field, they called it quits. Now, decades later, the band members agreed to reveal the truth. So it's kind of told in like an interview format, and while I was reading this, I had to Google to see if this band was for real, because it just brought you there. This is being turned into a miniseries by Amazon Prime. I believe it's going to be, the first episode date is March 3rd, 2023. So it's coming. So I don't have Amazon Prime, but I might have to get it just to watch this. So.
All right. And my last pick is for the YA set. And this is They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman, which was published in 2020. In Gold Coast, Long Island, everything from the expensive downtown shops to the manicured beaches to the pressed uniforms of Jill Newman and her friends looks perfect. But as Jill found out 3 years ago, nothing is quite as it seems. Freshman year, Jill's best friend, the brilliant, dazzling Shayla Arnold, was killed by her boyfriend. After that dark night on the beach, Graham confessed, case was closed, and Jill tried to move on. Now it's Jill's senior year, and she's determined to make it her best yet. After all, she's a senior and a player, a member of the Gold Coast Prep's exclusive, not-so-secret society. Senior players have the best parties, highest grades, and really the admiration of the whole entire school. This is going to be Jill's year. She's sure of it. But when she starts getting texts proclaiming Graham's innocence, her dreams of the perfect senior year start to crumble. If Graham didn't kill her friend, who did? Jill vows to find out, but digging deeper could mean putting her friendships and her future in jeopardy. So, about this, just when you thought singer-songwriter Halsey finally had her fill of the world falling in love with her, she turns around and becomes an actress. The singer will make her screen debut in The Players' Table, a prep school drama series based on this best-selling novel. So, if you like Halsey, want to see that, I know we're fans of Halsey's music, so a YA pick, They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman.
Awesome. Well, we hope you found some things to read before you were watching the movie or the series on one of the channels. And
I told Jill I should have worn my "The Book is Better Than the Movie" t-shirt today for this filming, but forgot to put that on. Like, comment, share. We love to hear from you. We love to hear what you're kicking off your year reading. Happy New Year, and we hope you tune in this year to watch us with some more Friday Reads recommendations. Find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube, and until next time, thanks for watching.
bye.